Welcome to another episode of the Rebel Radio Podcast. This is Mark.
This is Matt.
I'm here.
I'm here.
There you are.
This is long.
It's like that Austin Powers joke from the first one. There you are. Do I know you? No, but you're there.
Yeah, formal introductions.
Yeah.
On episode 150.
Did she ever get back to you on any feedback since then?
Yeah. She said I appreciate it.
Oh.
'Cause she says she's a bit hard of hearing, so it helps her to know that she's listening.
Yeah. Did she ever talk? Did she hear our retort about her? Was it Plymouth Barracuda?
Yeah, she said your car choice still sucks, and that's why she wants to come on the show and give you a hard time.
Is that right?
Oh my God! Wow.
Right? It's the same freaking body.
I wish I could be here to defend you because there is a lot of similar body styles. The CUDA, the GTO, the Judge, the Olds 440, Olds 400.
Oh no, the car mat's coming out.
Yeah, all those the front ends are basically the same.
It's not serious as far as being defended. She's just giving us a hard time. She's a cool chica, and I've been talking to her. Her show's pretty cool. Home on the Strange podcast. They just released one about the Lubbock lights that have been seen out there lately, whether it's aliens or not. So
she still owes us a free ghost story.
Yes, she mentioned that. She did. She texted me. She goes, "Oh, I guess I owe y'all a ghost story now." So she said when she comes on the show, she'll bring one. And I didn't
she is listening to the show.
And I won't be here.
I didn't even pick up that you had said that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Oh, okay." So,
that's cool, man.
And I also, besides a shout out to Lindsay and Sam and the Home of the Strange podcast, another friend of the show, Johnny Neese, who they do Warlock Entertainment. They do a YouTube show. He's got a new endeavor. It's these T-shirt designs he's doing, and he asked me if I'd throw him a shot. And it's I think it's HTX, or no, it's Houston Shirts TX.com or TS. No, it's just HoustonShirts.com. I can't even find
okay. There we go.
And, he's got
That's
a coupon.
way simpler.
He's got a coupon code on there at HoustonShirts.com. The coupon code is Love Houston to get you 20% off and free shipping until the end of August. So a little shout to Johnny and his Houston T-shirt endeavor that he's been doing. He's got some cool designs on there. A lot of Astro stuff, a lot of baseball, and I think some Rocket stuff too.
That'll sell a lot of people early.
Yeah, I've known Johnny a few years now. Met him through podcasting. Him and Zach do a little YouTube show. It's kind of cool, and good dudes there. So I have to throw them a little shout. So
that's a $5 endorsement, Johnny.
Yeah, or at least a shirt.
$5.
Okay. Well, Johnny shares my love for Willow.
Okay.
Long hates Willow.
Like the little people?
What? I never said I hated Willow.
Little gnome-looking people.
So,
John,
I thought you didn't like Willow.
No.
Oh.
I like to make fun of it.
Oh.
Frank doesn't like Willow, right?
Willow on the show one day.
Willow!
And, well, when we do Willow on the show, Johnny's going to have to come on and do it with us because he's really obsessed with it more than me. He likes the movie a lot.
I thought I had gotten a copy of it, and I got it, and it turns out it's like the Korean version, and then everything's in Korean, even the title and everything, like the graphics on the outside of the Blu-ray DVD, it's all Korean.
I found it in Half Price Books just a few weeks ago, and I rewatched it, and I'm
nice.
Like, it holds up really well. Val Kilmer's actually really good at that movie, and he's probably the best part of it. He has fun in that role as Mad Mardigan, and you see Val Kilmer in a dress, which is kind of scary.
Well, I mean, Patrick Swayze did do Tu Wong Fu one time, and he was in full drag.
This is true.
Yeah.
But other than that,
who did it better, Patrick Swayze or? Because Patrick Swayze beat up a dude while wearing a dress.
Answer that question.
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
And Wesley Snipes was in there.
How has y'all's weeks been?
Let's move on.
Yes.
Have y'all had good weeks?
So far, so good.
I see you're celebrating Arnold's birthday. Comics with Arnold is back.
It's back
on our YouTube channel. Season 2. We're going to release one every other week, so there's no pressure on Arnold to get it out weekly.
Yes.
It's already done well. I've promoted it through our social media a little bit. He reads. Arnold came back and read a comic of friends of ours, Justin Corbett and George Tripsis. Their Speak No Evil comic they put out locally here through their Gray Bear Comics, and I think Justin and George really appreciated it. They got some good laughs at it. It's actually really funny. I give Arnold props on this episode. I was laughing pretty good at it when I watched it. So that's playing on our YouTube channel, which you can link to through the rebelradiopodcast.com. Comics from Arnold Season 2. Finally, that lazy fucking Arnold got off his ass after filming Terminator. And got an episode made.
Mark had to drop kick him.
Yes.
At the skating rink.
Fucking right in the jaw.
That was you?
That was me.
That was you. It went to Africa to drop kick.
But no, it's a cool little thing on our YouTube channel, and so we have some fun with it. So yeah, Comics from Arnold back on the Rebel Radio Podcast YouTube channel.
Nice.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. Yeah.
So other than that, how was y'all's weeks? Good week, guys?
Yeah. I survived.
I've been on vacation, so I've had a really good week. I
Yeah.
had to be at work. Took the kids out to NASA. Had a really good time, man. I hadn't been to NASA in a long time. The Johnson Space Center here in Houston, and I love that stuff. I love space, and that program, I think it's a really great program. Seeing the Saturn rocket in person was highly impressive. You know, as you get older, things don't impress you as much. You know, you've seen it all.
Yeah.
There's some things that still impress me. And seeing that Saturn rocket in that building and realizing that went into space one time, that was fucking impressive. You know, I was like, wow, that's really cool.
Was it as impressive as the shores of Galveston?
The shores of Galveston aren't impressive. They're just dirty water. I'm just saying.
Why does Florida get the nice beaches? It's on the Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
If you go further down and you go into Freeport, they're pretty nice.
They're not that nice. The beaches might be cleaner.
The beaches are cleaner.
Still dirty.
The water's still dirty. Though I did see that the water is clear, which every time the water is clear, there's a news story about it, so it is more dirty than it is clear.
Usually it's after the rains.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because it rained like, 5 days ago, 6 days ago?
But yeah, so that's what I did on my vacation. Took the kids to NASA. Had a really good time. And so I probably win the week. That's probably more exciting than anything you guys did this week.
I don't know. I watched Last Action Hero the day before Arnold's birthday, and then the day of Arnold's birthday I didn't do shit, and then the day after Arnold's birthday I had a stogie and some wild turkey.
It's funny, Roadhouse won the poll we put up for your birthday movie, but yeah, we're probably going to do Last Action Hero.
Yeah, we're probably going to do Last Action Hero. I really want to do a Swayze movie. I feel like he deserves... I know we did Point Break.
We did Point Break.
But that was more of a Keanu Reeves movie than it was Patrick Swayze. We talked more Keanu and Gary Busey.
Ghost is cool.
Ghost is cool. I think it could be a wild card Halloween flick one day, or even a wild card Valentine's Day flick. Just like, okay, we're going to do a Valentine's Day movie, we're going to talk Ghost. Because it's got friggin' Patrick Swayze, the guy who is a gymnast, a dancer, and a martial artist.
That's enough homoeroticism.
Yeah,
Homoeroticism?
I'm like,
No, I'm joking.
And he beat up a dude dressed as a woman in a movie. So there's that.
I guess.
Yeah, we're very inclusive, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
all inclusive.
So, Long, nothing to say about your week.
Well, right before we started recording, I actually finished up all the main assembly of the Russian Typhoon submarine.
Cool.
Red October.
The Red October one.
Red
yeah.
October.
That's an easy build.
I'm impressed with your stuff you're doing, man, because, like, kind of envy it, because, like, I wish I could do that stuff, but I've never been good with things like with my hands and stuff like that, so it's cool.
Well, I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It takes practice for sure and patience, lots of patience. So, did you seen the picture of the battleship I posted on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
The USS Alabama.
No.
Right? Oh, not that one?
The German battleship, but the Scharnhorst.
Okay.
Yeah.
The model picture, not his profile.
Okay, I thought you meant the profile picture.
Yeah. that's what I made a comment about, baby boomers and technology,
Right.
because one dude commented on there in all caps. And he's like, "Where are you?" And that's when I texted, "Man,
Stop
like,
yelling!"
I swear to God, baby boomers and freaking modern technology, man. Yeah. So, anyways, I told him back in all caps, "USS Alabama." And then he says, "Me and my software bear." He's like, "That's cool," So
You know what's funny? It's like funny you mention that. My dad, who didn't go to college for computers because computers had just been invented, and he worked with the first computers. He even saw the first Microsoft program, and he had a chance to buy it while it was at penny stocks. Could have bought like thousands. Dad had $10,000 he could have dropped on shares.
Pretty sure you've told this story before.
But he said, no one's going to want an operating system like that. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. And he let it pass by. But he just now got an iPhone like 3 days ago. I mean, he just learned how to use Snapchat like 2 months ago, maybe.
Really?
And most of the time, he doesn't say anything. You'll see his Bitmoji head pop up and then pop back down.
I don't even really understand how to use Snapchat, so your dad's winning that one. Like, I guess you have to be a teenager. I don't really get the point in Snapchat.
I just thought it was funny because it's like he's always got a newer laptop. Even if he has to go to Dell Outlet and get a scratch and dent XPS or something like that, but like his phone had always been like older. Thought it was funny. Phone? He had a flip phone for a while.
Yeah.
I think he had a basic smartphone like maybe 2 years ago, and he just finally got whenever they put out those LG, and then you've never heard of the LG model before, and it's like $10. He got one of those, and now he finally went and he got like the $1,000 iPhone. Spent the money.
Which means your dad's old.
Yeah, he is. He's old.
Well, I mean, as far as my week, it's not bad. I could have sworn I saw not. Besides the feature movie, I think I saw something else. Oh yeah, we'll get into download this.
I watched some stuff. So yeah, let's get the show going. Let's talk download this, where we tell you what we watched, streamed, and maybe played video game wise this week. And I've been off, so I had some time to watch stuff. But I'm not going to start. I'll let you guys start.
Battle Angel Alita.
Yes,
I saw that.
I did watch that.
That was a great movie. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's another movie this year that critics got wrong, but fans love.
I watched it too. We could talk it for a minute. I am highly impressed with the visuals. I was wrong last week when I thought that Cameron forced Robert to film it in the studio. It actually was filmed mostly in Austin.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
They shot one scene somewhere else. In fact, the scene where the down ship, I knew where that is. I'm like, I've been to that park in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and sure enough, it's McKinley Park in Austin, Texas. And but yeah, it was very impressive. The love story may be a little bit contrived, but other than that, that might be my only beef with it.
Yeah.
You know? Visually,
I like how it ended.
Yeah. Left wide open.
Yeah.
Because I guess
I meant the way the relationship ended.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of out of. I don't think I've ever seen a love story end like that.
No, not like that.
Yeah. So.
And it was visually highly impressive. It feels like the live action anime I was maybe always waiting for. That you were hoping that Ghost of the Shell would have been, or if we ever do get Akira made, that it might be that. Hopefully studios look at that if they're going to make live action animes, that this is maybe how you do it. Because you go all out, and it's a shame that Alita didn't maybe do better at the box office, because it was really good.
Oh, it did about 400 million.
Pretty good, worldwide.
Yeah,
I guess domestically.
It's number one in Amazon right now for home Blu-ray sales.
Yeah.
So
it's something I think I'll definitely pick up when it goes a little bit cheaper on sale. I think I'll get a copy of it, because I can see myself rewatching it quite a bit. I think I had a lot of rewatchability.
And I think whenever you see Marshall Ali in that movie, you feel like he could be the next Blade. Whenever he's just got his sunglasses on and he's just putting his hands together, just looking just coldly, I'm like, that's Blade.
That even before then. I mean, just when he was announced.
Well, I knew he was a great actor, but whenever I saw that performance,
just go watch him as what's his name in Luke Cage.
Oh, so spoiler,
Cottonmouth.
Yeah, it's Cottonmouth.
So spoiler, the main villain is Edward Norton.
What?
Yeah.
For what?
The dude in the city.
Really?
City.
Oh yeah, that was Edward Norton.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention to the.
It took me a minute, and I realized who it was.
I recognize that face.
Yeah,
that
at first, because with the hair and everything, it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And another spoiler is they see. I guess the second half of the manga, she goes up to the city, and they left it open because he's still alive, the city's still up there, and I guess the rest of the book, she goes up there and she ends up taking him out because he doesn't keep his promise not to let things corrupt his empty promise. So.
Yeah, I'm reading the manga right now on Comixology Unlimited.
Yeah,
they have all of the original volumes for free to read if you subscribe for $6 a month. And there's a lot of fighting when she gets into that city. It's martial arts.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because it's not an overly long manga, isn't it?
It's 10 volumes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 10 volumes wasn't super
10
long.
or 12. Yeah.
Not as long as some of them are.
I want to see a Robert Rodriguez directed Crazy 88 type scene, but with Alita Battle Angel and her friggin' crazy ass sword.
Yeah, this movie definitely, it's definitely he's honed his skills for this movie for sure. And yeah, I'm really pretty satisfied with the way this movie started and ended, So, as an anime fan.
I liked it a lot.
Did you get to watch Endgame since it came out on digigal?
Did it?
It did.
I'm waiting for the Blu-ray
Tuesday.
so I can get all versions
in
one packet.
I know me and Mark rewatched it.
Because I have your voodoo.
Yeah. I found it still enjoyable. I was still hooked onto it for the whole 3 hours. Didn't even realize 3 hours passed over.
The last hour, whenever the heroes return, that scene is still just absolutely remarkable.
Yeah.
It's like, it's coming, but it doesn't help, but it gives you chills. It's awesome. And seeing all of them step through the portals, and it's just really spectacularly done.
I think the moment when Captain America got Thor's hammer was the first time in a long time where I screamed, "Oh my God, he has the hammer!" out loud in the theater.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think I'm not one to clap in the movies, but like whenever he says Avengers Assemble, I was pretty sure I was cheering at that point, in the theater. I was like...
I had a very interactive audience too, and whenever Cap had the hammer and then said Avengers Assemble, everyone went nuts. And even my oldest son, Jake, was pointing it out when we were rewatching it. He's like, that was whenever everyone cheered, right, Dad? And I was like, heck yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it holds up really well.
Yeah.
So we all watched the lead. Anything else you watched on?
No, I just scale models and just a bunch of random YouTube videos, really.
I watched
mostly history stuff.
Another Robert Rodriguez film, Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
You had to watch after doing
I had to watch it, and I didn't realize Salma Hayek dies in the beginning. Not even really in the beginning. They're just talking about how she died, and then
I was one and done for that movie.
Yeah,
I like the action sequences in the film.
Yeah.
The movie's a mess, though. There's weird editing in it. There's a part where, there's still no explanation why they're going to the president's
Eva Mendes
office.
is there.
Eva Mendes. Willem Dafoe plays.
William Dafoe, a Mexican
lord. I'm
like,
what? There's a scene where characters completely change outfits. It's weird. It's just like it's.
And Danny Trejo is back, and Cheech is back.
Yes, as different characters.
Yeah.
So it's not terrible, but it's not as good as Desperado or El Mariachi are.
And then all of a sudden, Antonio Banderas' character can play the guitar like nothing happened to his hand.
Right.
And then Johnny Depp's character is just over the top in a way. He's like, this pork is so good that I am going to shoot the cook as soon as I'm done with this meal.
That was so dumb.
That's how good it is. And I'm like, why would you do that?
The action sequences are great. Like the church scene is really good.
Oh, yeah. The church scene's awesome.
The scene in the president's building is really good. So, and that's where it shines. It's Robert Rodriguez doing his thing with action film scenes. But, yeah, it's not as good as the other one.
Yeah, but that's about it for me.
And I watched Elite, of course. And then I watched a couple things. I watched Detective Pikachu. It was dumb. I just cannot even give it any props.
Give it a C+.
All the money on special effects, so you can tell it's one of those movies where the actors didn't really have time to do multiple takes because we have. Ken Watanabe is in it, and he's so good most of the time. He's wasted in this movie.
Justice Smith was annoying.
Yeah, I didn't like Justice Smith.
I guess I'm not a big enough Pokemon fan to know enough about them. Like the special effects were fine and all that. The story was kind of just simple. I don't know. I guess I get it's made for kids.
Yeah.
But you can make a movie for kids and still be more entertaining than that was. But I can see how kids would like it. But me as an adult, I see a lot of kid films that I'm way more entertaining than that. Which brings me to another movie I watched. I did rent Dumbo for the kids. And, these Disney live action movies are kind of hit or miss. I actually really enjoyed Dumbo.
I like Dumbo.
I thought it was good.
It's a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, it has Tim Burton's touch to it. It's a little bit weird. But I actually overall thought it was really well done.
Yeah, you can tell it's Tim Burton
more
whenever.
Entertaining than Detective Pikachu, but yet it was for kids. I liked it. I thought it was good. It's Colin Farrell, man. He's an actor I thought was really good from the get-go when he first came onto the scene. And every now and then he pops up in something. He's like, oh, Colin Farrell's still acting.
Yeah.
And he's really good in the movie.
Like in Minority Report, he didn't do anything for a little while, and then he was in Minority Report right after.
It's kind of during the height of his doing stuff.
Yeah.
And Danny DeVito is always a pleasure to watch on screen. And of course, he does a lot
I ain't seen no elephant fly. Is that song in there?
No, they kept most music out of it. Unlike the cartoon.
Well, they did the elephants on parade, just the music.
Yeah. Oh. And then there's musical cues in it. And then instead of the mouse teaching them to fly, the kids teach them to fly.
Yeah.
So they but the mouse are in the movie, but they don't really do anything.
Pass.
So, but it was entertaining. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
I'd give it a B.
Michael Keaton's in it.
But it's weird in it.
He is weird.
Really weird in it.
Is he a ringmaster?
He's
like an
the rival
owner.
Circus.
Yeah.
Oh.
That ends up buying Dumbo. Yeah, it's weird. And he's really bizarre in it. But it has the always beautiful Evergreen in it. I could watch Evergreen don't do almost anything.
Did you see The Hateful Eight yet?
No, I did not watch it this week like I planned to.
God damn it. How many more days you got left?
just tonight's the last night.
Jesus H. Christ.
I go back to Monday.
Jesus.
And I didn't finish Stranger Things either. I have one episode left.
Jesus.
You're channeling your Full Metal Jacket.
So I don't know why I didn't watch Stranger Things today. I should have finished it today.
It's only, an hour 20 minutes? What was it?
Yeah.
Well, I've been watching with Michael. So
I think it finished strong.
And then I rented Hellboy just because I was curious about it, and I had 99-cent rental, but I haven't watched it yet. I forgot we're recording tonight, so I don't know if I'll watch it tonight or not.
Darn.
I might be like, oops, I wasted $1. So we'll see.
It's a race between you and my brother to see who's going to see Hateful Eight first.
Damn, I can't let him win. I'll never hear the end of it. So that's pretty much what I watched this week. Rented a few movies and watched a few things, and still going through Cowboy Bebop. Watched a couple more episodes of that show. So I'm enjoying my Blu-ray on that. I'm not rushing through it. So that's okay.
Oh, I played Fire Emblem too. So that's a pretty fun strategy game. Yeah, and it's top-selling Nintendo game, top-selling video game.
Yeah.
Worldwide right now.
Oh, I've been playing a lot of Fortnite.
Oh yeah,
My son, I've gotten addicted to it. It's fun. It's simple.
I don't get it. I don't get the appeal of it.
You know?
I think here's my thing. Okay, but you are kind of a latecomer to modern systems.
Yeah.
So for me, I played when I had an Xbox 360 and Michael was little. I played a lot of Call of Duty online. Mary would be at work. I'd play a lot of Call of Duty online. So I got my fill of it. So I think now I go and play Fortnite and I'm like, been there, done this. It just doesn't appeal to me.
The original aim of Fortnite was you and your other friends build a fort and defend it against hordes. But it's become more of a
PvP now.
Yeah.
It's become more of a 1 versus 99 type battle royale.
I think I've had my share of the shoot 'em up generation of games, so I think that's why it doesn't appeal to me as much. But I totally get why it does to the kids. Michael plays a little bit. I don't let him play it a whole lot. I don't let him get it.
Man, the last first-person shooter I ever enjoyed playing was the very first Call of Duty on PC.
I thought you were gonna say GoldenEye
No.
or Counter Strike.
I never
Remember
had
Counter Strike.
I played Counter Strike a little bit.
I never played Counter Strike.
Oh, and that's another thing I did while I was on vacation.
I played a bunch of games.
Finalized my divorce. Yeah.
There we go.
I just thought of it because I mentioned Mary's name on the show. So
And
that's all
I'm
fine.
free.
Free falling.
Yeah. Like I was thinking about it. I shaved yesterday and there's a bunch of hair in the sink. I was thinking, there's fucking hair there. Nobody can tell me that the sink is full of
You
hair.
still have a
kids.
beard, but you said you
I trimmed, man. Look
shaved.
how it's trimmed.
You shaved your downstairs beard?
No.
Oh, God.
Like, so
Do you have to go there? Jesus.
I did not manscape.
Jesus.
All right, on that note,
Jesus wept. No.
let's get to the feature film.
Isn't that Hellraiser? Jesus wept, and then he gets ripped apart by the
that's your-
Cenobites. Yeah, dude.
I watched that movie once. That was it.
I'm gonna put it on today, and I'm gonna take a video of that clip long, and I'm gonna.
Well, I
send it
watched
to you.
Hellraiser 3 to see Terry Farrell in it,
Oh yeah,
and she never got nude, so I hated that
yeah.
movie.
Someone else got nude in that film though.
Unfortunately,
He's-
it wasn't the one I wanted to get nude.
Yeah, he's like, bring more girls so I can harvest their bodies.
Moving on to the
Yes.
feature,
A movie that
a
is
family feature.
family feature.
Yeah, after watching that naked, but a movie that celebrates 35th anniversary. A movie that's still to this day I think beloved by a lot of people and holds up well. And that is 1984's The Neverending Story, directed by Wolfgang Peterson, who went on to make. I mean, well, he was already pretty famous at this point. He had made Das Boot, and what else would he have done at this point in the 80s?
Bunch of German projects.
He went on to direct Troy and a few other very popular.
Air Force One.
Air Force One.
Yeah.
That's right.
So very good.
For some reason, I wanted to.
So bad in that movie.
I wanted to say The Fugitive for some reason. I was like,
he
which
didn't direct
Harrison
The
Ford
Fugitive.
movie
In
was
the
it
Line
again?
of Fire.
Did he direct The Line of Fire? He may have. You know,
I have to double check.
I'll have to double check. What was the first time you guys remember seeing the Neverending Story? Well, I looked
When
at
I was in second grade
Nice.
in elementary, and I really enjoyed it as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, I was enthralled by it. Cried when the horse died, of course.
Yeah. Same.
Then recently, I was rewatching it last night, and I stopped after 20 minutes because I got tired of the IMDb commercials popping up during the Amazon Prime, and I'm just like, F it. I'm not enjoying this movie right now, so I'm going to let Mark and Matt
It does take a while to
continue
get going. I need to give you my voodoo so you can have
The
access.
Line of Fire.
I'll take your word for it. I mean, I could watch it on Amazon.
Yeah.
He did direct The Line of Fire, and he directed Enemy Mine, which we did a few months ago.
That's right. Enemy Mine.
And
They're very well directed movies.
Air Force One, Troy, The Perfect Storm with George Clooney.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect
That
Storm.
was actually a pretty good.
That was a
movie.
crazy movie.
So yeah. But yeah, when he did the best known thing he did at this point would have been Das Boot when he did the Neverending Story.
Das Boot.
That's boot.
So yeah.
I rewatched
Did
that
he
movie.
do Platoon?
No, that's
I rewatched. I did rewatch the director's cut of Das Boot late last year, and the director's cut, which is about 3 hours, and
Wow.
I enjoyed all 3 hours of it.
Really?
Yeah, it was just
3 hours.
so well made.
So when was the first time you saw the Neverending Story, Matt?
I'm in Long's boat, second grade, 90, but that was like 93 for me,
Right.
94.
Did you
So-
quit after the first
Yeah,
hour
youngin.
of watching it?
Huh?
Did you quit after the first hour of watching it recently?
No.
Oh, dang it.
My son wanted to.
I was hoping for you to say, okay, now on to Mark to finish talking about it.
My son wanted
did he
to stop
think?
watching it.
He stopped. He wanted to stop?
He didn't start getting, buckled down and interested until Atreyu walks to the big tittied Sphinx statues.
Wait
This
a
is
minute.
a family movie.
I stopped at the
They
part when
are.
Atreyu was approached to
Sorry,
become the
I'll
hero.
keep it family. Well endowed statues.
Oh, yeah. I remember that as a kid.
Turn around.
I think the same for me. I was probably very young the first time I saw this movie.
I thought it was two Sphinx.
There's
It was
two.
two.
Yep, double.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was probably very young too, same as you guys. I first saw this, remember seeing it at a very young age. Remember always liking it, always being very upset every time Artax died,
Yep.
because that wasn't fair that Atreyu had to lose his horse like that. And this is a movie that definitely inspired me. As Matt knows, when we were both avid Star Wars Galaxy players, my avatar's name was Atreyu. It's really Matt.
Sorry, it's long made a face whenever I showed him.
Right, just get it out of their
Yeah.
system, Matt. Big titties on the
They're
face.
huge. I
They're
blame
only
Frank. Frank
statues,
brought it
Mark.
up. They're so
Don't blame Frank on everything.
symmetrical.
Frank can't
Mark?
go 5 minutes without titties on his brain.
I mean, we talk about art,
I mean,
that's art.
I mean,
That's art, Mark. Those,
and we've derailed this film already. The first 5 minutes of talking.
I thought that the main kid who was reading the book was a terrible actor.
Sebastian,
Yes.
typical '80s kid
Yeah.
actor.
But it was worse than
He's the best of all three of the ones that have
Yeah.
played. Even the third one, he had no talent. They're just like,
Well,
this is the guy from Free
What do you mean,
Willy.
third one.
The third Neverending Story with Jack Black.
I didn't even know. there was
Is
a
he in
third
that movie?
It's so bad they don't want to mention it. In fact, it's an original story. They didn't
Well,
even go based on
I
anything
think
from
the
the book.
young man who played Sebastian, though, he didn't have a lot to work with.
No.
He's sitting there reading this book. There's no one to interact with, no other characters. So I think he did the best he could for what he had to do.
Yeah.
But in the end of the movie, though, he's not the main focus. The main focus is Noah Hathaway's character of Atreyu.
Mm-hmm.
He is the hero of the story. Sebastian just happens to be the guy that's reading his story. And, of course, the two worlds combine at the end of the movie as their stories are interlocked. And that's why it's the never-ending story, because it's always going. But, yeah, as far as a child actor, he's not great. But I think that, he does the best he can with what he has for the role.
Yeah.
But I think this movie is, in some ways, for 1984, I think it's way ahead of its time.
The story's great.
Yeah, it's a really good story. It was based on a very popular German book. It was the most expensive. I guess it was a cross production between Germany and the Russia. And it was one of the most expensive movies ever made overseas back in the 80s.
It had a very odd production team name.
Yeah.
Sales production team?
Sales production team. That's a production team?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yes.
Sales.
Yeah, that's the most generic sounding name for a production company.
It's like having a girl named Susie.
What? No.
Very generic.
No, it was more like...
And I think that's part of the reason a lot of the actors
Sales.
were relatively unknown actors, because they had to spend a lot of money on special effects. They were able to get famous voice actor Alan Oppenheimer to do a lot of voices in the movie. He plays Falkor, the dragon, and plays a few other characters. Of course, he's best known for playing Skeletor and He-Man, and was at Compalooza a few years ago. Very nice. He was a very nice man. I went and shook his hand and talked to him for a minute. So I think that's part of the reason too. Maybe they couldn't go cast some popular young child actors at the time. I mean, Noah Hathaway was known for, he had done a few episodes of Battlestar Galactica. That's about it. And he gets cast as Atreyu in the film. And for him, this movie kind of like didn't ruin his acting career, but it's all he got known for.
Yeah.
So he kind of got out of Hollywood. Him and his wife own like a tattoo parlor now in Hollywood, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did an interview with them, and they asked him because he still does cons,
Right.
And they asked him why has this movie still, why does it still have a cult following? And the story's great. It's on par with other stories of that time, like J.R. Tolkien and Lord of the Rings. It's up there with as solid of a story as that, and as complex, and it's got a lot of heart too. I mean, the puppets, and there's just a homegrown, very big heart feel to the.
No, it's just
puppets.
because I mean, the puppets showed a lot of personality.
Yeah.
And it made people forget about that they were puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
especially the rock biter.
I think that's the thing. The movie, it starts out a little slow, but once it gets going, it keeps your attention.
Yes.
You're constantly introduced to interesting characters and interesting parts of this world of Fantasia. You're introduced to a really scary evil thing called the Nothing, which originally was supposed to literally be nothing, but they had to represent it in some way in the film, so they used storm clouds, and the book is described as absolutely nothing. You can't see it. And then you have Gmork, which is this evil wolf-like character with killer fangs. And when I was a kid, that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I didn't like Gmork at all. It's like, leave him away from me. And then when he eventually speaks in the movie, he's really, really evil-sounding. It's really dark, and apparently the book is much darker. Like, I guess Gmork does a lot of really bad things in the book, that they left out of the movie because they're trying to keep it family-friendly. And the book is written as a young adult kids movie, but still has darker tones to it.
Yeah.
But part of that, I think, is just the influence, like you said, of other fantasy things at the time, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and things like that.
I think they tried to make it more like Goodnight Moon, even though it was more like middle school aged kind of reading. Yeah. But they tried to make it more appealing to elementary school kids. I think maybe that wasn't their intention, but that's what I felt.
Right.
The sequel wasn't that great.
Well, no. And in fantasy films back then, you probably weren't going to do a dark PG-13 had just come out with Temple of Doom. You weren't going to make a movie like that for adults, because adults, weren't going to see that kind of stuff. Like Conan was relatively successful, but people wanted the next Star Wars, the next, fantasy film that was appealing to all ages. Even as mid 80s, and Star Wars had already had its whole trilogy out. That's what studios wanted. So you probably weren't going to make something darker. If the Neverending Story was ever remade today, it probably would be a little darker. It probably would be PG-13.
Yeah.
You'd probably see Gmork doing something really evil as this evil wolf. He would be CGI'd, and he'd be even more fucking scary than he was even as a puppet.
Man. And he's still scary as a puppet.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned, like, under my breath that, man, this still freaks me out. But my son's like, does the wolf still scare you, Dad? And I was like, no, of course not.
Your son wasn't at all.
I'm a man. I'm going to go in the backyard and swing this sledgehammer, son. Just ignore me what you're...
Your son wasn't at all taken by the story?
He was just
Fantasia
like...
at all?
Not until, like, the Fantasia started breaking down and Falkor loses Atreyu, and everything is, like, being destroyed, and the rock biter, or rock chewer, as he is in the book, is like, I don't even care anymore. I'm just going to let the Nothing take me.
It's called The Rock Biter. No one cares about the book.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You know who cares about the book? The guy who wrote the book. It's true. It's true, Long.
Well, he's not listening.
No, he's not. You know why? Because he's probably too busy writing up some kind of lawsuit. He likes to sue everybody.
Well, you know, the movie, you're talking about your son Jake watching it.
Yeah.
The movie brings you down, lifts you back up, and kind of brings you down again and lifts you back up.
Yeah.
Because when you're watching it, you know, Artax dies, and you're really sad and everything, and then he gets rescued by Falkor. You know, when he's almost dying in the pits of pits of sadness, right?
Yeah.
And Falkor, you know, brings some humor into the film, and they go to see the dwarfs, or is that what they were called? No, gnomes. They're gnomes.
The gnomes.
And it's a funny scene, and they have to send him to the Southern Oracle. And there's kind of some humor back and forth with him and his wife. And then it brings you down again when the world is destroyed and Atreyu falls into the ocean and all that. And it's like, and then the movie brings you back up when he sees the tower where the princess is, or the empress, and it brings you right back up. And then he's able to save the world at the end
by giving her a name.
By giving her a name, because that's where you find out that his story is being told by someone else in another world, which is of course Sebastian.
Yeah,
and he has to give her a name. And,
which is the same name as his mother.
Well, and there's been some debate over the years whether he really said Moonchild, because it's indecipherable in the film.
Yeah.
You can't tell, but in the book it's Moonchild.
It's Moonchild in the book.
And so the movie is a lot of hope and despair back and forth in the film. But at the end, it all works out because it's an adventure story and it has a happy ending. You know, excuse me, I just burped on the podcast.
Wouldn't be the first.
No.
Won't be the last.
Probably not.
Spawn 2 sequels, I'll touch on those really quick. Falkor is still, you know, pretty solid in the second one. He's actually pretty wise. He's one of the saving graces, along with even Atreyu. I mean, they recasted Atreyu because obviously everyone's too old.
The interesting fact, Atreyu in the book is green.
Yeah, green skin.
They said the makeup
and blue hair.
Right. They said it looked like a fungus, or looked like...
Yeah, they tried.
It looked like Lou Ferrigno's Incredible Hulk. And
that's awesome.
It looked on screen, so they scratched it.
That would have been so cheesy.
And then the creator suit.
It'd be good. Yeah, the creator suit again.
What about the third one?
So, and then the second one...
what was the premise?
So he can create... Sebastian can create wishes. He can make wishes. So there's this witch, basically the sorceress that takes over Fantasia, and the princess is locked away. He's got to defeat this witch, but she has these people that are coercing him to make these wishes, and every time he makes a wish, he loses his memory. So the goal is to make him forget that he can influence the story of Fantasia, and then everything will belong to this witch. But then he wishes that she gets a heart, and she gets a heart and she dies, because I guess she's so wicked and she can't stand herself. In the third one...
Because in the book, because the movie, the original Neverending story, is about half the book. And I read that in the book, Sebastian, it turns out that Sebastian is originally from Fantasia, but got misplaced on Earth and doesn't remember anything.
Yeah.
So in the book, when he gets brought back to Fantasia, he's like almost like the Empress's right-hand man. He has these powers to help rebuild the world and all that.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, but they simplified it in the film version.
Yeah, they simplified it. And the third one, which is a lot of people like Mark, both you and Mark didn't know there was a third one. It was made in '94.
I knew there was.
So Jack Black is in it.
Jack Black is in it.
There
He's
was an
a bully.
animated series that ran a few episodes, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And but I didn't know there was a third film.
Yeah, there's a third film. It's pretty bad. So the force is called the Nasty, and it's kind of like it's kind of like the Nothing. Basically, this is the original story. It's not based on the book at all. And the Nasty happens whenever young kids.
Who are the main characters? First off,
it's the child from the main kid from Free Willy, the boy from Free Willy.
That fucker.
That yes, 3.2
and Jack Black. Yes, it's horrible. The marketing is bad. There's like 3 posters that are out.
Is it direct to video?
First it says, I don't think it was. I thought I had a release.
You know what? I think I vaguely remember a commercial on it.
It's
on
weird. So it's called, Return to Fantasia, and then they had other posters that said Escape from Fantasia.
February 2nd, 96. Basically, it's a DE, which means basically direct to entertainment platforms, but had a very limited theatrical release. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Very limited.
Yeah.
That's why they had this Free Willy star on there, and they advertised it. This person from Free Willy, go see it because he's in it. And Jack Black is just like, I mean, he Sebastian goes back into Fantasia, and the book is in the real world, and Jack Black and his cronies kind of get it, and they realize that Sebastian's in the story, and so they try and jack stuff up. Jack Black tries to jack stuff up for Sebastian while he's in the story.
Oh, so he's trying to ruin Fantasia?
Trying to ruin it.
Oh, okay.
And so
that's weird.
It's weird.
Part 2 being somewhat watchable, and Part 2 is directed by George Miller, which is strange.
1, 2, and 3 for the princesses.
Yeah, I remember the princess, and because Part 2 has
Third one wasn't very childlike.
Part 2
No.
has the late Jonathan Brandis in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who plays Sebastian, and it's actually directed by George Miller.
What?
The second one?
Yeah,
Oh no.
interesting.
George
I
Miller.
remember the second one being watchable at least. Though.
And then
It is
he went on
watchable.
to do Babe,
Yeah,
The
which
lake.
was a great movie.
Yeah, the lake is made of acid in the second one.
Yeah.
And the bird that rides with him that tries to coerce Sebastian to make wishes tells him, "Why don't you make it spring drinking water?" And then he has some dumb line like, "Maybe it's acid to keep everything clean." And it's like, why don't you just wish that everything stays clean and to have drinking water? And then he's got to climb this castle, and he keeps wishing for a single step every time. One more step, and then one more step, losing a memory. And I'm like, why don't you just ask for a staircase leading up to the tower so it's one wish?
Why don't you just end this movie so
Yes.
I can move on?
So there's a lot of like head scratching,
I think
you know.
we spent way too much time on Part 3. It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
You can actually still see Falcor on display.
Really?
Yeah, see the head of him at least.
Oh,
is
the
on
head of him.
display at a museum in Germany, a film museum there, so you can still see it.
Is it in good condition still?
Yeah, they said it's actually still in good condition.
From the first one, the
Yeah.
second, or the third?
I don't know. It didn't say. It just said you can see Falcor on display, one of the puppets. Because apparently this film and the book is still very, very popular in Germany. Like
Yeah.
it's got a huge following there.
Just
that
like David Hasselhoff.
Michael Ende, I guess that's how you say his last name,
Yeah.
wrote the book. And so it's a very popular children's book overseas still.
I wonder if there's a German adaptation of it somewhere in
The
Germany.
film.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure, probably so.
Maybe a TV show or a special or something.
And of course, the movie, like you said, has kind of a cult following. It's going on to spawn. I'm sure. I would imagine there's comic books out there and other things based on this. I don't know if I've ever seen Neverending Story toys. Not that I remember. But
No.
might be something out there related.
They make Falcor an idiot in the third one.
Yeah.
In the first two, he's this wise, lovable dog, and the last one, he's like gets into the real world. He's like, "Oh, am I the only one up here?" And then a plane passes by, and he's like, "Oh, slow down, let me talk to you, buddy." And I'm like, "What? This isn't Falcor. This isn't the wise dragon dude." And he just looks weird. If you look at the poster, Falcor looks like someone made him skip a bunch of meals or something. He looks sickly.
Falcor the emaciated.
Yeah, man. But yeah, maybe one day, whenever we start doing stuff like Colt 45 does, and let Patreon fans pick horrible movies
awful
for them.
movie
They did the Pest one time. Lou Leguizamo, like Louis, yeah.
John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
And that one's actually an enjoyable bad movie. But yeah, they. I want to do a bad movie, but I don't
Apartment.
think. Yeah, Joe's Apartment. Oh my god, with the roaches.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That was an August release type
Man,
movie too.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was an MTV movie too.
Really, an MTV movie?
Mm-hmm. MTV produced.
But overall, though, I think the Neverending Story is still 35 years later a really good movie. It's one of those movies that if they never were to remake it, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
As a fan of it, I think it'd be neat to see a redone version where it fleshes out the
They'll
story.
probably make a good anime series.
Yeah. Or I think it'd be neat to see a fleshed out version of the story where Gmork does more stuff and you get to see more of Atreyu's journey and a little bit more of the darker elements, but yet still keep it family friendly. More than the line of Lord of the Rings. A little bit darker, but not rated R. But if they never remake it, I'm okay with that too. I think the movie stands on its own as it is. I think it still holds up today. I think it's still a pretty solid B+, A- film. I think it's really good. I like it. It's been a favorite childhood film of mine for many years.
I'm probably going to keep this in my childhood memories. I couldn't continue after a while, But I do remember I loved it as a kid. Never owned it,
Yeah.
So, but I remember being taken it back, and really enjoying the movie as I watched it as a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah. Plus, I didn't want to. I don't know. I didn't feel like watching a family movie either. Like, I'm too old for this stuff.
Too old.
Never too old for kid flicks.
Final
thoughts from you, Matt, on it?
Care Bear the movies. No.
Very enjoyable movie. Still holds up to me. I still found it enjoyable. Takes a while to get rolling, but A, B+,
And the
something like
and
that.
the Artak scene is still one of the most memorable sad death scenes in movie history, I believe.
Yeah, I think they were smart to make him not talk like. In the book, he talks, but he would just came off like Mr. Red. Yeah.
And Atreyu is still one of my favorite character names of a character in a film. That's why I named my Star Wars Galaxy character Atreyu.
Isn't like a demon? Like an Atreyu is a demon? You told me that one time.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think isn't there like a metal band
There's a
called
metal band. They
Atreyu?
took their name from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Yep.
So, yeah, Atreyu's inspired some pop culture there. So. All right. Well, that's it on the Neverending story. Don't sing the song, Matt. The world's not ready for it. So,
it's a song that never ends.
Oh, no.
As it goes on and on, my friend.
Your head there, man. That's
Some
shot
people
glass.
started singing it, not knowing what it does.
I shall kill you.
Oh no, not this song.
Not the song.
So let's get some news, man, out of the way.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, it's been a very slow week, but
Nothing.
there's something we forgot to talk about when we did San Diego Comic-Con news a couple weeks ago. And one of my favorite directors and pop culture icons, one of my favorite podcasters, one of the reasons I podcast, because he's an inspiration to a lot of people in his podcast, is Kevin Smith's got his new film, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, coming out. And we didn't even talk about the fucking trailer. You know,
Man.
it's like,
Yeah.
it just kind of got pushed to the side with everything else that happened at
I thought when they're
Comic-Con.
doing the reboot, I thought they're recasting the characters too.
Well, they are, but it's a reboot about stopping a reboot.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are playing Jay and Silent Bob with the reboot of the reboot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Matt Damon was reprising his role as Loki from Dogma.
Well, it does say it. I saw the trailer and it said like Dogma chasing Amy, and so maybe like they do reprise some of their characters.
So. Who
We'll have to
knows with
see.
Kevin Smith film, but
Yeah.
but it looks like a lot of fun. I actually just rewatched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I guess I could have put that and download this, but I always mention old movies and download
Yes.
this. But
Will Ferrell
the
in that
movie still
movie.
makes me laugh so hard. I love Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I think it's hilarious. You know, Jason Mewes, has taken a lot of flack over the years for some of his drug use and stuff, and Kevin has constantly brought him back into his films because he's his best friend. But he's really good in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It's probably his best acting he did. Like, when he's saying things like, we're going to fuck their shit up, we're going to do this, it's like you kind of believe him, because he pulls off those words so well. Only Jason Mewes knows how to...
He sounds like he's losing his voice.
Well, he smokes a lot.
Yeah.
So probably. But
Well, how old is he now?
they're in their 40s. Kevin Smith just turned 49 a couple days ago. It was his
49.
birthday, so happy birthday to him.
Yeah.
And so yeah, then Jason's got to be in his 40s too.
Yeah.
But so Jay and Silent Bob, I think it's hilarious. They're doing a road show tour to show this film. Where
Yeah, I
Kevin
saw
and
that.
Jason are gonna sit and watch screenings with you. They are having one in Houston, but it's $50. Just sit and watch the movie with them. I'm like, no thanks.
Ming Chen.
I guess it's going to have Fandango screenings also. And I looked those up, and them sons of bitches are on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. The Fandango screenings, which is usually football practice for me.
Great.
For Michael. So I'm like, well, fuck. I guess I may end up not seeing Jay and Silent Bob Reboot till it hits home video.
Fuck Ming
But oh
Chen.
well. So I'm excited for it. It's one of my excited movies for the fall.
He has
When we
nothing to do with
it. Ming is probably in the movie.
Probably.
Oh, really?
But
Yeah, he is.
Ming Chen had a birthday this week.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
You know who else had a birthday?
What day?
Arnold.
You mentioned that earlier in the show.
But I didn't mention that he turned 72.
It just makes
He's
you fucking
72?
old.
He's 72 years old, brother.
God damn.
I didn't realize how old some of these guys
Well,
are
he's
until
aged
like
pretty well,
I watched
considering.
Demolition Man, and in like 96 and 97, Stallone was 40 years old when he made Demolition Man, and he still looked like he could still play Rocky at that point.
Old
Yeah.
motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
And we raised a glass to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
We
Yes.
did pre-show.
Pre-show.
glass raising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A shot
So,
of...
Deadpool
Yeah.
has become a very popular character, obviously, for many years now.
For
through
kids.
comics and video games. But
Fuck Deadpool.
would you buy your kid a Deadpool Build-A-Bear? It seems like
No.
Yeah.
Hell
you
no.
would.
Yeah, I
it
would.
just seems like a bit much. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not a prude or anything, don't get me wrong. But I just feel like this might backfire on Build-A-Bear. There's going to be that one parent that's going to walk in there and go, do you know that movie says fuck a lot and has him getting screwed in the ass by his wife and all this? And someone's going to complain. It just feels like they're asking for trouble to have a Deadpool.
No. This is a Deadpool Build-A-Bear, the comic book version.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
there you go.
I know. I just thought it was really funny when I read that. And
Not the movie version.
it also probably goes to tell you how slow the news week was this weekend. We're talking about Deadpool Build-A-Bears. So that's all I have to say.
I'll take the next one. The fan did a HD remaster of the original Spider-Man teaser trailer for the Sony that starred Tobey Maguire. And what's cool about it is it's the image of a helicopter. A dude, robbed the bank, goes up in a getaway helicopter. I remember watching
that.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he gets caught in Spider-Man's web in between the two towers of New York City.
Oh, wow.
Before they fell. It was pretty cool. Seeing the two towers stand again. God bless America.
I'll take the next one. So, Ford v Ferrari is coming out. And they're going to tell the story.
No one cares about you, man.
Oh, yeah. It's an action
I
drama,
care.
Mark. It's an action drama.
I like cars,
It's
too.
whenever the European
All the Worships
cars,
are cooler.
Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche,
Tanks are cooler too.
they all dominated. They all dominated the track at Le Mans, and so they didn't think an American company could take them. But Ford took Lee Iacocca, the creator of the Mustang, Carroll Shelby, of course, the creator of the Shelby, and inspiration and designer behind the Shelby Cobra, the Shelby Gran Torino, which was made in small production. And they made the GT40, which held the first spot, the number one spot, over like 6 years. And it was the first American car to beat
In what
European
race,
dogs
Matt?
in the 1966 Le Mans race.
And
So
how long was that race?
ooh, God, you got me there.
24 hours straight.
24 hours straight?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Le Mans is the race of all races.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew it was the race
That's
of
why
all
it's such a
races.
big deal. A lot of vehicles cannot last that long. Well, especially racing vehicles.
Yeah.
Can't last 24 hours straight.
It's got Christian
At high
Bale.
speed.
It's got Matt Damon. It's got some,
Damon.
yeah, man. It's
Well,
got
it
some
means
good
Christian Bale
actors.
playing a racer, right?
He's the racer.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
And it looks like he lost all that weight again
He's
from playing Dick Cheney.
Mark is so glib about it. He's like, I don't care.
Doesn't do anything for me.
I'd rather-
It looked
I-
like a year off from filming films on purpose.
Yeah.
He had.
I'd rather watch this movie than Fast and Furious. That's
Boom.
For sure.
Well, I mean,
There you go.
that's a given. Fast and Furious has become a joke of itself.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's
It's real life.
quick entertainment,
Yeah.
Fast and Furious.
Shit.
It's okay.
Anyways, no, but when's it coming out? Fall?
Yeah, it's coming out like September.
Yeah.
It's
It's around the
September,
corner.
Yeah.
I'll see that.
I was surprised I didn't see anything on it before now. Maybe they were just keeping it under wraps, and they released it after they found out that Lee Iacocca, died.
I'm sure you're a big fan of Bullet.
Yes, I do love my Steve. It's Steve McQueen, right?
Yes.
For some reason, I always feel like I'm talking about the Cars Lightning McQueen whenever I say Steve McQueen.
Well, it is a tribute to him.
Yeah, it is. But I always feel like, am I talking about the Cars character?
No.
But yeah.
Lightning McQueen. If you say Lightning McQueen starring in Bullet,
Starring Lightning McQueen.
who, the car
man.
from Cars?
Bullet rims and the Bullet Edition Mustang come out every 4 years.
Does it really?
The Bullet Edition Mustang comes out every 4 years. Bullet rims you can buy all the time. They even put them on Challengers. Put them on everything.
What?
Yes, they do.
That's sacrilege.
It is sacrilege,
Oh,
but they
God.
do look cool.
I understand. Well, if you said, wait a minute, you said Challengers?
Yeah.
No, they should be on Chargers. Chargers, I understand. Those are
put 'em
the
on
villain
Challengers,
cars.
too.
Those are the villain cars in Bullet,
Yeah.
but not the Challenger. Challenger has its own movie. Mm-hmm. Death Proof
Death Proof.
Bullet's a good
and
film.
Vanishing Point.
I would rather one day on the podcast do Bullet over Fast and Furious any day.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Bullet's a good movie. And
Heck
Steve
yeah.
McQueen is a fucking movie star.
It's definitely a better movie. But there's just so much to talk about when it comes to the original Fast and the Furious.
Not really.
No.
It's like a film that probably shouldn't have continued after the first one, but it did, and it just found a way.
Not as much to talk about as you
I
think.
am to this day. I am very proud that I did not give any money of my hard-earned wages towards that franchise,
I can't say I
nor
did
my
that,
time.
But,
nor my precious
but out
time.
of the 8, how many are there? Like 15 of them now?
Who
I don't know.
knows?
But it's
I've only
like there's a
seen,
lot
two
to
of them.
talk
many.
I've
about.
only seen like 2 of
There's
them.
things
many,
that,
Mark.
that you're not thinking about that you could talk about. The Nissan Skyline, the price that went up on the 240SX, the 2001 Mitsubishi Eclipse,
Still,
the Mazda RX,
The
which
only reason why I
this
care
Toyota
about
Supra.
the only reason why I care about the Skyline GT is because people nicknamed it Godzilla. And that's why I love that car.
Skyline.
Plus the V6 handmade.
And the Honda S2000.
yeah, it was definitely a slow news week.
Yeah.
What's next? Apocalypse Now is coming out.
Apocalypse
the final cut. Francis Ford
I
Coppola.
thought that was already out. They cut it
They
again?
did. Yes, there was the Redux, which had all the deleted scenes in there,
I have a
but it
confession.
didn't
I've
make
actually
sense.
never seen that movie all the way through.
And Coppola says that he recommends watching the final cut over the theatrical and the Redux because it's the perfect balance of all the new footage and the original story.
I've seen, it's one of those films that I've seen like a piece here, a piece there, and I kind of know what it is. I've just never like kind of watched it sequentially.
Yeah,
I
bits
can't
and
say
pieces.
that word. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not that I haven't wanted to watch. It's not like The Godfather, which I just can't get into. I just can't. I've wanted to watch Apocalypse Now. I just have never sat down and found the time to watch it.
Yeah,
you know?
don't watch that until you see The Hateful Eight.
No. One thing at a time. I'll
Right.
get there. I'm working on it.
I haven't seen Inglourious Bastards, so...
Oh.
What?
And it's even on Netflix.
I don't know.
He's giving me a hard time.
I'm going to watch it on my vacation, I promise.
All right, then.
Next week. I'm not a hypocrite.
Well, that's, I mean, I guess this new Gods movie is going to happen with Ava
DuVernay?
DuVernay directing it.
Written by Tom King.
Yeah, Tom King's helping her write the script, and I guess she
Who's
said-
overrated, by the way, as a
She
writer.
said it is going to be very much what comic fans want. They're going to have the Furies in it and Darkseid, and that they are listening to the fans are going to make this more closer to the comic books than some of the other DC movies have been so far in some ways.
Yeah, but recently the DC movies have
They've
been
been
pretty
much
good.
closer.
Yeah.
Did you like Shazam?
Yeah.
I like Shazam.
Yeah.
I rented it the other day. I didn't like it as much the second time,
Oh, yeah.
but it's enjoyable. It's kind of a one time for me. I don't know how. Like
Yeah.
Aquaman, I really liked it even the second time.
Oh, come on. Octopus with
Yeah,
drums?
Wonder
Yeah.
Woman, I liked the second and third time, but I don't know how many times I'd really sit and rewatch Shazam. You know, it's like it was okay.
I thought
it's a family movie.
I thought it was more. I thought it was kind of like the Ant-Man of the DC
Which one?
universe.
I actually think it's a little
Shazam
better. I'll
or-
give it that
Shazam.
much credit.
Oh.
I think it's a little better than Ant-Man.
Well, I think it's better, but it's
But-
kind of like it's funny.
Ant-Man's one of my personal
superhero.
favorites.
I don't know how much I'd rewatch Shazam. Like I might pick it up to have it for when it goes cheap on Blu-ray or something, but because the boys like it. But I don't think I'd revisit. It's not something I'm going to go to my shelf and revisit real often. It was okay, but it was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon did a really good job in that film.
Jimmy Fallon's not in the movie.
You sure? Like whenever he reaches his full potential.
Man, who's the actor who plays him?
Zachary Levi.
I wouldn't insult Zachary Levi like that, man. Come
What?
on.
He's cooler than Jimmy
I hate
Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
I
man.
love
He plays
Fallon.
Shazam.
Fallon can't even keep his act together when he's interviewing people. I hated Fallon in Saturday Night Live
Really?
because he always ruined the script by
Watch him when he interviews people. His mouth starts opening up, and it's like he's gonna it's like he's waiting for their cum to jump in his fucking mouth. He's so excited.
Yeah.
He's like the biggest fanboy. He's terrible. Like when you're on the Tonight Show and stuff, you should have.
He is a
this-
big fanboy.
You should have this sense of being a fan of what you do, but also
Conan
being kind of
O'Brien was robbed.
of being respectful. Like Jay Leno was really good at that. Jay Leno could geek out and be a fan, but he also would be reserved. Fallon every time looks like he's about to jump on their dick or something. And I'm getting a little X-rated here, but that's just how Fallon is.
Conan O'Brien is also one of the best.
Yeah.
There was that one time Sandler had to host the Tonight Show because Jay Leno had an emergency, and he did pretty good. I liked how Sandler handled it.
Well, yeah, but Sandler, he's turned down all that stuff for years.
Letterman is one of the best too, man. When he had a guest he didn't like, he'll really remove. Especially, I saw that one Trump appearance.
For which one?
On Letterman.
Oh
boy.
The one when he showed up on Fallon. Fallon's like, "Look at your hair."
Oh yeah,
He's
that
like,
ruined that. That's the start of Fallon's ratings problems.
Really?
Well, Letterman knew how to.
Colbert right now is the #1 talk show.
Letterman knew how to slow burn his jokes.
Yeah.
He would say something, and it took you a minute to realize, oh wait, that's funny. Letterman was really good at that.
Yeah.
And Letterman never laughed at his own jokes. That's one thing with Leno. Leno would tell a joke, and he'd start laughing so hard. You're like, okay, Jay, calm down. Letterman would just kind of smile, like, yeah.
One of the things I love about Conan O'Brien is he's quick on his feet too.
Yeah.
And he doesn't laugh at his own jokes either. And he's also one of the best interviews out there. Anyways.
Wow. We really went all over the place. This slow.
We really did, yeah.
Well, let's preview next week's movie, man. It is my birthday week. I'm getting old. And so, we usually kind of pick a movie that we want to do for our birthday. And the one I wanted to do is not easily accessible. So we're going to do something else I really enjoy. Clint Eastwood, man, he's one of my favorite actors of all time. And so we're going to talk... Not the obvious choice. We're not going to talk...
Is it the one when he's at the RNC convention talking to a chair?
Right. We're not going to do the good, the bad, and the ugly, which would be the obvious choice, but we are going to do one of the films from the Man with No Name trilogy. We're going to do For a Few Dollars More.
Such a big reward offered unto you gentlemen that I thought I might just tag along on your next robbery. Might just turn you into the law.
Naturally. I'll be in the tavern. The air around here stinks anyway. Just like the food. But the month will go fast.
I'm letting you leave, hero. That's so you can tell everybody you've seen what takes place here.
Didn't hear what the bet was.
Your life.
I have that movie, by the way.
Really? Mm-hmm. Movie night, Long's house.
Well, I have it too. It's on Amazon Prime right now.
It is? Oh,
yeah, cool. A really good Western. Of course, Clint and Sergio Leone are known for bringing the spaghetti Westerns to America and familiarizing American audiences with that style of filmmaking. Mm-hmm. And which is still felt by directors like Quentin Tarantino, who has the movie out in theaters. Robert Rodriguez, who did Desperado. Those guys were influenced by those guys that made the spaghetti westerns back in the 60s. So it should be a fun movie to talk about. They're really great. Lee Van Cleef is in it. Another guy is one of my favorite on-screen presences. I mean, because those guys back then, and we'll talk about more next week, they had a presence about them. like when they're on screen, they demand attention. You know, in those films, like when Lee Van Cleef is on screen, you're watching to see what he's going to do. You know, same with Clint Eastwood, and you don't have as many actors, I think, nowadays that demand that presence that those guys did back then. So it should be a fun movie to talk about next week on the show, for a few dollars more.
See what you did there.
Yes, fantastic musical scores in those films.
I don't think that's in that one, but
Yeah, it's in the third one. Yeah. Lots of shots of eyes.
Yes.
And stuff. The movie I wanted to do was John Woo's The Killer, which we'll do in time. Right now it's just not on Netflix. It usually is, but right now it's not. And you can't rent anywhere. So, and John Woo was definitely a Sergio Leone fan. He's even talked about it before.
we should do Half-Baked.
Half-Baked, yes!
They killed Killer, man.
The killer, man.
They killed Killer. His dog.
So he had to fight his brother, man.
So next week on the Rebel Radio Podcast for a few dollars more. And that's all we got, I
Jim
think.
Brewer.
Go to rebelradiopodcast.com follow us on all apps. Leave us a review on iTunes. That would be awesome if you did that. And we're on Google Play, Stitcher, Podcoin. Man, you can listen to us on Podcoin and earn some coin to buy yourself a gift card or donate it to charity or whatever. That's a pretty cool way to listen to the show, too. And we still have T-shirts for sale on the rebelradiopodcast.com.
Still got T-shirts.
You made me think of it because you're wearing one of the shirts.
Yeah, I am.
With the old logo. Eventually, I'm going to get around to putting the new logo up there.
Yep.
One day. But yeah, it's helped support the show a little bit. You know, I think it helped us buy stickers or something.
Leslie, you owe us a ghost story.
Yes, Lindsay.
I'm sorry, Lindsay.
From Home with the Strange podcast. She wants to come on the show if we can work it out. She lives. Houston's really fucking big, and she lives like in Clear Lake, out near Nassau, or was the other day.
Clear Lake.
So she lives far. So it's like trying to get together to get on the show. Because we record at night, so it'd be kind of a long drive for her to record at night. So I told her we'll try to figure out what we can.
We should meet her in the middle at Three Brothers Bakeries.
You can drive up to Freeport.
They close that.
Since I'll be up there.
Oh wait, you have kids, huh?
Yeah.
God damn.
Well, eventually the kids will be at their mothers on some weekends once all that gets rolling.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
And it's right next door to
it gets
Bedrock
moving.
City Comics.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
But that's it.
Cookies and podcasts.
Thank you as always for listening to the Rebel Radio Podcast. We do appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter at Rebel Radio Pod, which we are over 1,000 followers now. That's awesome. I love it. That's
Yes, sir.
radical.
That's 1K.
That's right.
1K,
We're like
1 kilo.
Cool like that. So
That's
thanks.
metric system.
As always, this has been Mark.
This has been Matt.
This is long.
So enthusiastic. As always, remember, go to RoyalPodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Just
Go there and do it.
In Godzilla we trust.
I thought you were going to say abracadabra.
Hey, you're listening to the Rebel Radio Podcast. My name is Sean Patrick Flannery, and I hope you dig the podcast.